Hey guys, this is my gear review for my Martin Custom D Classic Rosewood. This guitar was available on Guitar Center's website and also Musician's Friend as a limited edition. I happen to live in Pennsylvania, so having a Martin is kind of a staple here, admittedly so. Nazareth is about 45 minutes away from me. Been to the Martin tour about 3 times in my life, including just maybe 2 years ago, I think, and it was always an amazing tour. And in this case, this is the first kind of all real wood Martin you can purchase without it getting into the DX series and some of those things. Now, if you have a DX guitar, I don't mean to be a hater on it, but one thing Martin has done in most recent years is to take man-made materials like micarta, Boltaron, those types of things, and include them as bridge pieces and fingerboard material. Now, are they hard surfaces? Do they work? Sure they do. And do the guitars still sound pretty good and play excellent? Yeah, for the most part I think they do, but there's just something to me as a purist that says, if you're going to get a good acoustic guitar and you're certainly going to buy a Martin, you know, go for an all real wood model. This does feature all those things for me, and that's kind of what got me to purchase it in the first place. Now, I will always champion buying things used when you can, because getting a used guitar will automatically undercut, you know, $200 to $300, you know, right off the top if you get it, you know, used enough, so to speak. And this one in particular has, you know, Martin's tried and true headstock design here, the mini tuners. As far as the dot inlays go, they're a little bit smaller in that style. One of my favorite things about it is just the simplicity and the matte finish you got going here. The bridge itself is rosewood, as is the fingerboard. It tends to get a little dried out. I don't know if they didn't, you know, coat it with a type of finish that they normally do the higher end models, but I typically give it a little lemon oil and it'll brighten it up somewhat, bring the wood tone out and darken it too. You got your tortoiseshell pickguard there, just a 1-ring rosette inlay. It does have A-frame bracing. So essentially what this is, it's actually a Martin D15, but with rosewood, East Indian rosewood back and sides, and a spruce top. So instead of the all mahogany version, which my buddy that I play with has, this is the more like a D28 D15. That's what I would call it. It's a Canon, projects very loudly, and I love the matte finish. I wish more companies would go with this. I think Taylor's kind of started to move in that direction, even with their higher end models. The back and sides tend to be more of a matte finish now to allow more vibration to happen. But my favorite part by far on this guitar, I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera, is right here in the binding is tortoiseshell. And that is just beautiful to me. I hope you guys are seeing that properly. And if you're not, I apologize. I added on a Martin Thin Line Gold Plus pickup to this, but just to give you some tones, it's exactly what you expect of a rosewood and spruce guitar. So here's some open chords, just see what you think of the tone. Now, as far as the action goes, there's one thing I'll say about having a used guitar. You inherit a used guitar's flaws. So in this case, the action, I don't know if you can see this, but the action at the 12th fret is pretty high. And also, if you sight down the neck, you'll see a hump, classic 12th fret hump at the neck joint. That is something that typically happens with a guitar that's been, I won't call it dehumidified, but certainly unhumidified, if that's a phrase. And I got this thing very unhumidified. I was kind of dried out, feeling the fingerboard felt dry. So whoever owned it before me, even though I got a nice deal for about half the price it cost, I still had to re-humidify it a lot. I always stick in a humidifier in the case with it now, and it seems to have helped. I mean, the lower chords down here play really well and easily. And when you get up to like a bar chord, if I want to do some, Sublime type stuff or anything with bar chords, reggae. It's a little bit harder to play. It still sounds good, but I'm pressing down a lot harder than I would on my Taylor, and that's always a bummer. So I don't really take this one out as much as I used to. I will, however, say I think I like the acoustic unamplified tone of this the best out of all my guitars, probably. It just it projects. It sounds like what an acoustic guitar is supposed to sound like, Finger picking. Here's an option on that. So, very nice on the finger pick stuff. Very clean, very bold. It's got the low end where you want it. It's got the highs where you want it as well. As far as some lead playing goes, this is all I'm playing, of course, but let's see what I can do here. Off the cuff there, but you get the idea of the brightness, and if you're getting higher, very nice bold tone high up on the neck. Also, I like doing the G. Little country-fied chicken there, but you get the picture. So anyways, this is the Martin Custom D Classic Rosewood, basically a D15. Rosewood back and sides, and a spruce top. Hope you guys like the review. Thanks.